She's like, Sissy, I'm coming.
You don't through there. Sorry. They're pretty long.
Okay, slow down.
I have to bring up food.
You do, okay. That's your job, huh?
That's my job, making sure nobody falls out.
How long's it been? Okay. Shouldn't take more than an hour or two, I guess, huh?
So is anybody from Western United States?
Yeah.
Is everybody from the East?
Is it a circle?
It's a circle. That would be
Horse shoe. It's not important.
I'm not sure about Tennessee. Yeah.
So you're documenting our walk?
That's kind of why they went to that type of program. But the good news is that they donate all that meat to food kitchens and stuff like that. So.
No, don't mess with that, okay?
All right, folks, this is our next stop. So another riddle. So I wear a mask, but I don't hide my face. I sport stripes, but I'm no criminal. Raccoon, right? They're one of my favorite animals.
Yes.
They have some really neat features. One of them is they have 5 fingers, but no thumbs. So with both hands, they're very dexterous. They can get into almost anything. They're generalists and they're omnivores, so they can live anywhere and eat anything. The reason we stopped here and talked about raccoons is because, well, it's dry right now, but we have a creek that runs through here. And often at night, this is a place where you'll find a raccoon. And it looks like they're washing their food in the water. But actually what they're doing is they're softening up the pads on their hands. More than any animal in the world, the raccoon sensory cortex is like super dedicated to the sense of touch. So they can almost see with their hands. It's really cool. Another thing they have that we don't have is retroreflectors in their eyes. Now a lot of crepuscular creatures have that. Do we know what crepuscular means? So dawn and dusk, like deer, they're active periods, right? A lot of nocturnal creatures also have that, and it's to help them in low light. So when the light comes in their eyes, it hits that reflector, bounces back out, and it has another chance to hit the rods, so it allows them to see a little better. All felines have that. Deer have it. If you shine your flashlight in the woods, you'll see a bunch of eyes shining back at you. Kind of a neat thing with that is they're not all the same color. So you might see reds or blues shining back at you, and that's just the mineral content of that reflector. Now, you guys like bears? Yeah. So we have a healthy population of bears in this area. It is estimated to be 1 to 2 per square mile. And this is the American black bear. And right here's a skull of one. So you see those big canines in the front. You get this gap here where they can stick their mouth over a berry bush or a tree branch and rip all those berries out at once. Sometimes they're in the campground. I find scat, but we haven't had any issues with campers. The best thing you guys can do to help us out is keep your food stored. Now this right here is a sagittal crest. What this helps with is holding the temporal muscle to their skull. So if everybody can put their finger right here on their temple and move your jaw up and down, you can feel that muscle moving. So our ridge is nothing like this. So they have a lot more meat up here. So that helps out with their bite force. And they have a bite force somewhere around 800 PSI. Your dog is like 200 something. So really strong jaws. Grizzly bear around 1,000, polar bear around 1,200. As far as dogs on the trails, we ask that you keep them leashed at all times because you don't want your dog taking off chasing the bear and then getting scared and the bear thinking your dog's food and your dog runs back to you. Right? That's why we have that rule. That's why the Smokies no longer allow dogs. So, as far as strength, bears, they say that it is estimated 300 pounds with one swipe. That's pretty strong. Speed, 35 miles an hour. So their agility, speed, strength, they're just predators. They're also omnivores though. They only eat 10 to 15% meat. The rest is going to be plants and berries and nuts and stuff like that. People think they eat a lot more meat than they do. Any questions about bears? Yes.
Does that mean that it's best not to carry peanuts with you when you're in the woods?
Well, I mean, if you're camping overnight, I wouldn't carry anything that has like a real strong smell. And then if you're doing the backcountry stuff, we got a lot of backcountry sites here, and they all got cables where you can hang your bags. So they say just anything that would even make a bear curious, whether it's your deodorant or toothpaste or anything like that, put it in your bag at night and hang it up.
Well, I'm curious, is there anything that has a greater pound per square inch than a bear for the strength of its jaw, like you said, the polar and the grizzly?
I mean, the polar bear is pretty strong. I don't know, that maybe a lion or a crocodile. So
maybe even great whites.
yeah, there are probably some animals that beat it, but as far as
We gotta give this to
Land.
Cece.
yeah,
Okay.
land animals.
Let Cece have it.
Now
We're gonna walk
that
it.
speed, right? So I said 35 miles an hour. We're bipeds, they're quadrupeds, so four-legged like that, and that's how they run. So they can't sustain that for a really long time. But they're really strong. They climb trees, climb these mountains like nothing. Another thing with bears, I do have bear spray with me in this bag. It's good up to like 30 feet. If you guys want to carry it, you're more than welcome to. You guys can deploy it if you need to. Hopefully you never do. Bears have a great sense of smell. Conservative estimates, it's like 2 miles. The long range, it's 20. And that's going to depend on the topography, wind direction, humidity, all that stuff. So they can probably smell your peanuts in your pocket right now. But they're hearing us talk, they're hearing the footsteps. We got all the smells, they're not coming over here. The normal reaction, a bear in the woods, is they're going to spot you if they haven't already smelled you, take off the other way. So,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. And did you have a question about bears?
So did you make snakes?
All right, we'll keep on trucking.
But not necessarily.
No, I'm not. So far, not around the campground. You know, we're cleaning fire pits and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like, you know, you got the things on the table. Watermelon and fried chicken. All our picnic tables say watermelon and fried chicken kills bears. There's rangers that say once a bear gets taste of watermelon, it never forgets it. And if it smells it, it beelines towards it. Yep.
He might come down.
If he does.
Yeah, they leave. Yeah, and that's what I'm just.
Yeah, if you're a cool cart driver on you ain't paying no money.
Yeah, we always see the.
All right, folks. Next riddle. I build my house with my own paws. I build my lodge with my own paws. I make sounds like a gunshot, but I am no hunter. Beaver, right? We have beavers here in the park on the Kentucky side. They've dammed up a stream and flooded out a road. We can no longer use the road, but it's cool that we have beavers in the park. They're kind of neat creatures. They say the sound of rushing water is what instinctively makes them build a dam. So here we have a small beaver skull, and I have a fur in here that you guys are more than welcome to pass around. Here's a raccoon fur. I'll let the dog get it. And here's the beaver. So we're looking at the skull here, and you can see it's beaver's incisors. That's what make them rodents. These are ever growing, and they're constantly gnawing on sticks and twigs and stuff like that, and sharpening these guys up. Now, they'll build their lodge, and then they'll be able to go into a dry space in there. And what in the wintertime, they'll pull sticks and twigs and stuff like that for them to eat all winter. Now, beavers have a special thing that we don't. It's called a nictitating membrane. Does anybody know what that is?
The type of cigarette?
No. It's a third eyelid. So I had a vet last week who actually informed me all your dogs have nictitating membranes. It's a corner of the eye there. Sometimes it gets inflamed, but that's a third eyelid. Now, beavers are a little more active as far as their eyelids. They'll actually go all the way across and stuff like that. They're not the only animals that use it. Woodpeckers use it when they're pecking at a tree. Their safety glasses come out, right? Falcons use it when they're doing their dives. Helps keep their eyes from drying out. Beavers use it when they're going underwater. Helps protect their eyes. And a lot of aquatic, semi-aquatic animals have that. You know, you've seen it like Jurassic Park, right? So crocodiles have it, alligators, stuff like that. Beaver's the second largest rodent in the world. Do we know what the first is? They have them in every zoo in America.
Oh, anteater?
Nope. Capybara. So they're from South America. They are the largest rodent. Beavers get somewhere between 30 and 70 pounds, so they can get pretty good size. They have castor glands near their tail, and it's an oil that's secreted, and they use that and comb it through their body. And what that does is makes them waterproof. So oil and water don't mix, right? Yep. If you ever get the chance to get on YouTube and watch a beaver groom itself, it's hilarious. It looks like kids in a tub, you know, just, yeah.
Getting that oil everywhere.
What?
The SAE equivalent. I'm just saying, like when you buy oil, it's the SAE 30 weight.
Oh, I have no idea. But I can tell you that back when we were trapping a lot of beaver for their fur, they would extract those castor glands, and they would use that oil for perfumes and stuff like that. It has a real musky scent, so they'd use it as an undertone. It was very popular.
Who did that?
We did, humans.
Like
In the past, yeah, when they were trapping beavers like crazy, you know, 1700s, 1800s. Yep. Yeah, perfume. All right. Had a brain fart, guys. I apologize. I think we're good. If I remember, I'll let you know.
Is that a paw print? What's your tattoo?
Oh, that's my kid's handprint.
Oh, your kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking. I think it's like a raccoon.
Yeah, right? They are my favorite animal.
That raccoon or your kid?
Oh, yeah. My kids are raccoons. They get into everything and everything.
Is that your last name?
Oh.
Oh, your son? Can he read that?
No.
No.
Oh, I was going to tell you folks that, so beavers had an ancient ancestor since the last ice age, and it was the giant beaver, and can get up to around 250 pounds.
Wow.
So can you imagine that thing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably if they're in Chicago.
Sure.
Anybody know what this stuff is? Yeah, it's lichen, right? So this is a bushy beard lichen or old man's beard. You get pretty long. And this stuff is a bioindicator for good air quality. So if the air's good, you got bushy beard lichen. When the air degrades, it's one of the first lichens to go. We got lots of it in the park, so we're breathing good air right now. Yep. It's not a plant. It is a relationship between algae and fungi. And I've heard it's really flammable too, so if you're in an emergency situation.
Yeah, please. Split.
Alright, I got one more show and tell for you guys. So, I'm red and furry, and I hunt at night. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of my white-tipped tail under the moonlight. Fox, right? Red fox. A beautiful fur in here. So, fox, right? They hunt at night. They have some really neat features that make them like an apex predator. So, what is their best sense? Hearing. So, this isn't scientific, but it's kind of hearsay. They say that a fox can hear a watch tick at 40 yards.
Oh my goodness.
That's how good their hearing is.
I've skinned those.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they also have furred pads. So when they're sneaking up on prey, it dampens their sound. They have retractable claws. Yeah, really neat. They have great, like I said, awesome hearing, great sight, and great smell too. So, I mean, they're a very, very ultimate predator.
And a fox is related to a dog, right?
I mean, somewhere up
They're
there.
acquainted.
You know, it's amazing how different the fur is compared to the hair on most dogs.
Sure. Yeah, somewhere up that line. long time ago. Now, I learned something interesting last week. Somebody asked me if foxes could climb. And I was like, that's wild, right? A fox climb vertically? So, red foxes don't, but gray foxes will. They'll hug the tree and then use their hind legs to propel themselves vertically. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
And then, will I have a chance to like buy it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. And that's fine. A bunch of keys. Yeah. All right, now it's time.
Does anybody ever stay in that house that's right by the gate?
No, that's the store.
But what about on the other side of the store? Is this one like a little,
The maintenance.
oh, maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. Storage area.
Nice.
I thought that was the fire station.
Yeah.
And they have the washer and dryer in there.
Oh, they do?
You know what was that pushed out? Nope. The redwood, Canis rufus. So there's a recovery project going on. It's been going on for quite a few years. There's only 200 red wolves alive, 200 something red wolves alive in the United States right now, and almost all of them are in captivity. The only wild population is Alligator National Refuge in North Carolina, and there's like 20.
Wow.
Yep. But they're beautiful. Google it. They're a lot smaller than the gray wolf. Yeah. And there was a big argument on whether.
I didn't realize there was like a horse camp back there. Do you get from the regular campground? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I just don't know if I've ever seen a drive off to the horse.
It's been a lot of
We caught it only less than the United States. Instead of candy, so we killing off all the redwood. And then eventually coyotes can move east. And I got pumpkins sprouted up this year. Four different vines sprouted up. So I did last year. I got about 20 medium-sized pumpkins. All right, well, folks, that concludes our evening hike. Hope you guys had fun or learned something. Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting
you.
the National Park.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you seen a cat go that?
Yeah, I did too. Anybody got any questions, they can stick around. I'll stick around for a second. Then I'm going home.
Sure.
Yeah.